So the first time ever betting against a company publicly on YouTube and actually making some put options, buying some puts, we make a $300 investment turn into $250 profit. So it came out there with about $600 by shorting KULR. I wish that I was more bullish at the moment, but hey, this stock is holding true to the downtrend. We've seen it time and time again. It pushes up here, it gets rejected. It pushes up, it gets rejected, almost breaking out and then continuing down. And that just happened again. We actually started our shorts right here at the end of last week. And today we see it get rejected and continue down again. We'll see. The last hope for KULR to go up is that we see it hold above this green line, this 200-day moving average, maybe. But otherwise, we see it sell below. It's not looking too hot for KULR at the moment. There's three things we look at when identifying a good deal in the stock market. And the first thing is the market. Overall, they're in space market, which is a great market to be in because they're growing fast. The reality, though, is if you're not one of the companies that are, let's say end to end big, starting to already have massive contracts, it's kind of tough to compete. And you look at a company like Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab's done really well. It was at $3 a share around this time last year, and it's up. It at one point went to 30, 35 bucks a share. Part of that is their end to end. They have their own semiconductors, their own solar cells, their own batteries. They create all the materials for their rockets. But you look at KULR trying to inch its way in with the battery tech and be a solely battery tech provider by having batteries that are thermal resistant. So they're in this market that has some expected growth. But then we get into step number two of the analysis, which is the financials and the news and the charts. And what do we know about the news with KULR? They are spreading themselves too thin. And that's part of what led to us shorting the company. They got a new website. It looks quite nice, but they've added some new things recently. One of the things they recently added was Bitcoin. They're putting in about 90% of their money into Bitcoin. All of their surplus cash essentially goes into buying Bitcoin. Now, on top of that, you have the robotics. They just added this kind of segment of their business where not only are they putting 90% of their cash into Bitcoin with this new move, but they also decided we're going to jump into robotics a little bit. The robotics use case is not related to space tech. In fact, it's actually something totally different. I don't know if we could see it here. It's something related to exoskeletons for German Biotic. It's not anything that they've created, but they're partnering with another company with this tech that already exists. German Bionic is what it's called, and it helps with relieving pain. But here's where it gets kind of weird. Take a look at this ad. First thing you might notice is some hype. We've covered it. Here it comes. That looks pretty cool. I actually like it. But that right there, not a KULR robot. Second, continuing, and they start to show the manufacturing. What? That looks a little propaganda-ish. Whoa, what's going on there? I don't know, guys. I'm thinking that's a little weird. They show fireworks with their stock. I'm okay with the American flag, but then they show the robot. Some people really bashed on me earlier. They said, "Will, that's a KULR robot. That is KULR." Well, what is the FANUC FANUC mates? What is that? FNUC LR mate 200 ID. This is a robot. It's about a $5,000 to $7,000 robot, and no, it is not a KULR made robot. They put their logo on the side, but that is it. So we look at it. They put their logo, and I've zoomed in on this image, and if you really want to zoom in, you can, but you'll find that this is a digital graphic. It's not actually even a sticker. It's a digital graphic. So kind of strange, if you ask me. Anyway, we get into it. We look at it. We're saying, all right, things aren't adding up. They're jumping in all of these things. Then the article comes out. So this new article came out recently that stated they are not making as much money as they say. In fact, they're pulling revenue from the future into their current earnings, and that's kind of was the tip of the straw for me. So again, I make this not to bash on KULR. In fact, the main reason for this video is to first tell you the moves I've been making in the market so you guys could stay up to date. The second reason is that you really know what's going on because we have covered KULR and we've seen a lot of promise in the past for this company, and we've been very bullish on it actually in the past. But then, now they're launching blockchain to create secure and verifiable supply chain. They just said that like 4 days ago. Now they're doing blockchain, but then they use these AI images, and then you head over to KULR stock. If you search it up, you'll find that go to their financials and or look at their company. They have 52 employees. I'm sorry, but innovation comes from having a team that's innovating. If you are doing batteries, you are doing, yeah, you have partnerships or trusted by NASA. We don't know how the extent of the partnerships are at the moment, but then you have batteries, then you have Bitcoin, someone doing Bitcoin, then you have robotics. Okay, and then now you're doing blockchain, supply chain, verifiable supply chain. Those are 4 different things all in a span of literally less than 5 months, because all these things started really at the beginning of the year. And all those 5 departments of the company, and we think we're going to see massive growth when the KULR stock company has 52 employees. I think it's hard. I could be wrong. Comment your thoughts down below. What do you guys think on how that looks? We did see the net income holding a little bit negative there. Little nice increase from year over year, but now things start to shift. You see some articles about how the reporting might not be matching because they're pulling forward revenues from the future from contracts that aren't going to see full payment till 2029. And so what happens? You got to ask the question, and again, with the overall direction. So now we went through news, a little bit of financials. Number 3 is you look at the chart and you see this downtrend. Really all we could say is we have this downtrend and it is getting rejected. That was part of what led to the recent short. All I could say is if you see it coming and you aren't a bull, you could potentially make some money in these types of situations. If you maybe have a different perspective, that you find that all the things I just mentioned are, not they are not relevant for some reason, because somebody commented the other day. They said, Will, it's good that they're focusing on blockchain and that they're doing robotics and stuff. Haven't you seen how fast the world is progressing? Look, I get it, but there are laws in business where if you try and focus on too many things at once, it gets harder to focus on one thing. And working steadily in one thing can be good. Maybe they're not seeing the revenue, so they're like, let's pivot. Maybe we go robotics, maybe we go blockchain. We got to kind of go to different things right now and figure it out. But that's not something that gives me confidence as an investor. If I'm seeing that, that's fine. It's the right move. If you got to find other industries, you got to find your niche, you got to find where you're at and find out where they can tap into some gold veins and get those ideas, come up with good ideas to make more money in their business. I'm all for it. But when it comes to, the investor confidence, they're going to lose a little investor confidence. That's simply what we see happening right now. So we'll see how it plays out. I do see it kind of holding this level at $1.20. So we went through number 2, which is the news, the financials, and the chart. Number 3 is looking for that margin for profit. Now, if we're going to be trading KULR anymore, we're most likely going to be playing some of the downside. If we do see this trend continue, let's say we see it actually get down into these levels, to be about an 88% drop, which potentially is $1 basically swing from current prices. If that's the case and we're able to, let's say, buy some puts, couple contracts of puts, we're talking maybe 100 contracts, if that's actually the case of $1 swing, it could be a potentially, $5,000 or $10,000 trade. if we decide to take that trade and if it does play out that way. Be a little bit more of confirmation that it's going to get rejected here, and that would give us more indication to buy. But other than that, KULR, not really looking to buy bullish, right? We'd buy puts, and that's the way that we play it right now. If it breaks above about $1.40, I would not touch this on a bear. But when it comes to the levels here, if we see it break below this about $1.05 or $1.15 level, starts to sell off more, I would be more confident in taking that trade. If we do trade it, we may play it on the way down. Getting into a little bit of options here. You guys haven't seen that really until just now on YouTube. Launched the channel back in November, started opening things up into showing you guys how we invest on a daily basis. And if you guys ever want to join us in our live sessions each and every day at Market Open, we do focus on tech, AI, quantum stocks, and the AI boom and how those fast growing tech companies are coming about in the world and how to not only invest in them long term, but play a little bit more aggressively on some of the dips and swings that happen on a day-to-day basis. Then I would encourage you to simply take a look. Second link down below. I send you a free StockMate t-shirt. You get a free t-shirt along with the daily live sessions and surrounding yourself with other like-minded traders and investors. And I would love to have you guys in our live sessions there. I just wrapped up a call with a StockMate recently where we were talking about some strategies for near term. They already have their investment portfolio going good in the long term, but they're looking at trading some of these companies like Rocket Lab and AMD stock after the recent Starlink partnership. And they're feeling really good about some of the short-term trades and starting to see some extra profits that they could pull out early from their portfolio. And it made sense for them to be a part of StockMate. So again, if you ever want to join us there, it's that second link in the description. All you have to do is click the link. You'll see quarterly, or you could get yearly access. And if you guys are interested and ready to roll, I would encourage you to, again, take a look. Let me know your thoughts on KULR down below. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.